Hey everyone, and welcome back to True Crime Chronicles. I'm your unseen narrator, and today we're diving into a mysterious case that has haunted the public and the investigators for years. A case full of twists, turns, and chilling questions that remain unanswered. Grab your drink, settle in, and let's get into it. It was a quiet evening on May 12, 2015, when 24-year-old Sarah Jenkins, a freelance graphic designer from Tacoma, Washington, went missing. Sarah was described as vibrant, independent, and loved by everyone who knew her. She was planning to meet up with friends for a casual dinner, but she never showed up. Sarah had posted a message on social media earlier in the day, mentioning how excited she was for the night ahead. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary, but by the time her friends had gathered at the restaurant and Sarah hadn't arrived, concerns started to creep in. The first clue came when Sarah's phone was found abandoned at a bus stop just a few blocks from her apartment. The phone wasn't damaged or cracked. It wasn't stolen. It was simply left there, as if Sarah had just vanished. Detectives were quick to launch a full investigation. They scoured Sarah's apartment and talked to friends, family, and co-workers. No one could figure out why she would disappear without a trace. It wasn't like Sarah to just leave everything behind, especially her phone. But things were about to get even stranger. A few days after her disappearance, a break in the case came from an unexpected source: surveillance footage. The footage, captured by a nearby store, showed Sarah walking down the street on the night she went missing. But what stood out wasn't just her. It was the person walking behind her. The figure was unrecognizable at first, wearing a hood and keeping a distance. But that wasn't the only odd thing. Sarah appeared to glance over her shoulder a few times, almost like she was aware of the person following her. In fact, the last frame of the footage shows Sarah looking visibly startled. That was the last anyone saw of her. As the investigation continued, several theories emerged. Some believed Sarah had been the victim of a random abduction. Others thought she might have just left town, perhaps for a fresh start. But there were some things that didn't add up. Sarah's family pointed out that she had no history of running away or cutting contact with them. In fact, she had just been talking about a big freelance project she was excited to start. She had plans. She wasn't the type to disappear. And then another lead came forward. One of Sarah's co-workers, a man named Tom, said that she had been acting a bit strange in the days leading up to her disappearance. According to him, she had received several late-night messages from an anonymous number. When Sarah was asked about it, she would brush it off, claiming they were spam or prank calls. But what if those messages were connected to her disappearance? Months passed, and the case seemed to go cold. But then, something truly bizarre happened. A hiker found a buried box near the edge of a forest, about 10 miles from where Sarah was last seen. Inside the box, Sarah's personal belongings, a wallet, her ID, a pair of sunglasses, and a photograph of someone none of the investigators recognized. The picture was of a man standing in front of what appeared to be a rundown cabin. But there were no clues as to why Sarah would have been in possession of it. Sarah's disappearance has left many questions unanswered. Who was the person following her? Why did she leave behind her phone and personal belongings? And who was the man in the mysterious photograph? Sadly, we may never know the full story. Her family continues to hold out hope for closure, and investigators have not given up. If you have any information about Sarah Jenkins' disappearance, authorities encourage you to come forward. Every piece of the puzzle could bring us one step closer to the truth.